Hello. Currently, we interrupt this broadcast just to announce a public service announcement, which is that celebrities do not owe us anything. But before we get into that, if you haven't already, make sure to hit that subscribe button, and right after you're done doing that, click on the little notification bell that's right beside of it, so that way you are notified on your phones whenever I upload a video. So on Twitter a couple of days ago, there was this video making the rounds of two young adults. I want to say they're around the age of 20, 21. They were outside of Finn Wolfhard, who plays Mike in Stranger Things, on Stranger Things, in Stranger Things. Which one do we use? Anyway, so these two young adult boys, I believe, men, guys, whatever, were outside of Finn's hotel, and they wanted to say hello, and I think they wanted pictures with him, and he was just kind of like, hi, and then he kind of like walked off, and I think he maybe had said no to the request, before walking off. And a lot of people were kind of angry about this. Well, maybe not a lot of people. The person that tweeted the video that they found was very angry and said something along the lines of, how dare you treat your fans this way, they are who made you famous, blah 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 blah. Now here's the thing, again, celebrities do not owe you a damn thing. There's a couple of points that I want to make out. One of them being that Finn's talent as an actor is what made him famous. Yes, the views help, because if nobody watched Stranger Things, then the whole thing would be a bust. But the reason why people like him so much and his talent is because he has it in the first place. If he didn't have it, nobody would pay attention to him. So there's that. Also, it seems to me and a couple other people that these people went and searched for his hotel and to find out what hotel that he was staying at, because I feel like nobody would make it public. If you are a very famous star, I feel like you would not make something like this so public. So if you're actually trying to find out where he's staying, and I've seen this happen, I used to be really interested in K-pop, remember? Korean pop music? Well, I still kind of am. But way back when, I was very invested in it, and I knew how serious these fans were. They were borderline creepy. Okay, they were creepy. They were like past creepy. They were past that stage. Okay? So if you are actually seeking out where this kid, this child, this teenager is staying, and then you were standing outside of his hotel waiting for him to either come out of it or go back into it, kid does not owe you a damn thing. Kid can be freaked out and stressed out, which he likely is, because his fame has just skyrocketed and he just wants to go back to his room and have some privacy. Honestly, at the very least, you could have at least pretended to just be randomly walking by, and they'd be like, oh, surprised to see you here, and not like actually actively standing there forever for a while and then wait for him to show up. The least you could have done is pretend to act as if you just randomly walked by and then been like, oh wow, I didn't know you were here. May I have a photo? And still, even then, they still wouldn't owe you anything. But it at least would have been less creepy, I've seen this happen at VidCon and Playlist at VidCon. It's so hard because the original hotel that we stayed at the last 2 years before this year, it was right beside of the convention center. So everybody knew where we were staying. So if you walked out the front, you were gonna get pummeled. People, teenagers, kids were going to come after you. And then when they changed the hotel to be 10 minutes away, it was supposed to be a private location. And of course, these kids found out and they were gonna come out in front of the hotel. In fact, some of them actually went into the hotel, which they weren't supposed to do, and creators weren't supposed to indulge in that, but some of them did, which, thanks, by the way. And just, no. I've walked out of the Playlist Hotel in DC, and I've been creeped out. Now, keep in mind, I don't matter. Compared to these big old YouTubers, I don't matter. But just me going out as somebody that these people aren't gonna recognize, likely won't recognize. And these kids are like sitting outside of the exit door, and this is supposed to be our private entrance and exit. So creepy. I was standing outside waiting for my Uber Eats to arrive, and Ricky Dillon was actually walking out, and then of course the second that he walks out, these teenage girls are freaking out, and they start coming after him and taking photos, and I don't know his feelings about that. He's entitled to his very own feelings. Maybe he didn't mind, he wants to take photos. Whatever his feelings are, I'm okay with that. But for me, I just personally felt a little creeped out, and they weren't even commenting to me. So yeah, celebrities don't owe you anything. YouTubers don't owe you anything. I understand that people viewing you and helping you, purchasing merch and whatever is really helpful, and we're all very appreciative of that, whether it's YouTubers, celebrities, whatever. But at the end of the day, at the same time, we also have feelings. We are also human beings. So sometimes if we don't want to do something, if we just want to go to bed, or if we're stressed out and what have you. And most of us that end up being at these events, we're adults. So I cannot imagine what it's like for a 14-year-old kid to have to deal with that. So yeah, kids, teenagers, do not stand outside of somebody's hotel when a hotel location has never been disclosed. In fact, even if it was given out to the public, it's still, to me personally, it's very creepy to stand outside and bombard people with requests of photos and all of that. I can't. But yeah, leave Finn alone, okay? He's 14 years old. He is a child. It's just, give the kid a break. I feel like it's one thing if you do this to adults who are like over the age of 25, but when it comes to a 14-year-old kid, it's just too much, okay? Something to keep in mind. You may or may not listen to me and anybody else, but just want to put it out there. If you want to follow me on my social media, you will see the username, around in this little new end card that I have. If you want to send a letter or anything, I have my P.O. box, up here. I visit up there every once in a while, so, why not? I have a Patreon over here. If you want to help support my content, you can get perks and stuff. I give you stuff in exchange for tips and whatnot. I upload every Monday and Thursday, and I will see you later. Bye.